Hello, Scrapping Ames fans. How are we all today? I have a new layout share with you today, and it is a 12 by 12 layout with a bit of mixed media, a little bit of mixed media involved, and it is for the July Scrapping Clearly sketch. There's the sketch right there for you. Alright, so the paper I'm using here is from the Heidi Swap Magnolia Jane collection. It's the 12 by 12 paper pad. Now most of what I'm using here, well, there you go, is found in the Scrapping Clearly store. So pop on over and have a look if you like the looks of them, and either you can buy online, or if you're in the area, pop on in. Now I'm scrapping what was originally supposed to be 2 photos and ends up actually being 1. My stepdaughter's room that we made over, we did a bit of a reorganise, clean out, and brought some new bits and pieces for her room to do it up. So I'm just trimming down my pattern paper here that you can see, just a little bit around the edges, just so I can it will be matted onto that craft cardstock you saw, which is that brownie coloured cardstock. I really like how it just sort of all fitted quite well together on that brown, that craft cardstock. It just made the elements of the colours and things like that, I thought, pop out a bit more. So it went really well, I thought. Now, I did have a fuss around a bit as to how I was going to incorporate some of the elements of the sketch into this. And I think I did quite well actually with it. So as you can see, I fuss around with my bubble stencil piece there, and decide what I'm going to do with that and go from there. Now, first things first, to get that sort of swash pattern, because I'm using pattern paper, I decided to, in the way I was going to incorporate that element of the sketch into my layout, was doing this by just unevenly using a brush, uneven brush strokes across the pattern paper. I didn't obviously want to cover up the pattern too much, but I wanted to make sure that element was there. And I thought this was sort of the best way to do it, and it just incorporated some of the lighter blues that are in the actual photo itself. So yeah, I actually am really happy with how this worked all together. I think it turned out really well. Now that didn't take too long for that acrylic paint to dry. So I just, I edited nothing out from there in regards to time frame. It was such a thin layer that it did dry really quickly. So yeah, as you can see, I was just putting some double-sided tape on the back of that pattern paper just to mount it onto the cardstock. So I'm using the Colour Blast colour paste in Bling. Really like this colour, really like this product. Anyway, to put through this Kaiser Craft mini stencil, bubble stencil. Now back to the colour paste. It's fantastic. It's much smoother than ordinary texture paste, and you literally only need the smallest amount, and it spreads so evenly and so well through the stencils. And this isn't the first time I've used it. Every time I've used it, you just don't need a lot of it, which is great, but it just glides through the stencil so well. Yeah, I'm going to have to start getting a bit of a collection in the colours, I think. Now I do that 3 times, as you can see here in a quick close-up. The bottom and the 2 sort of sides that'll pop out from either side of my photo. Let's say, where have I gone? Oh, you see me every now and again reach back to my desk. I had my iPad there, which had the sketch on it, so I could see where I was going. Alright, so the sketch calls for a little star piece. Which is what I just used then, is part of it's a wood veneer pack that was from Heidi Swap. Again, it's something that can be purchased in the Scrapping Clearly store. I don't know if there was a particular name for it. Anyway, it had these little wood veneer pieces, and one of them was this star pattern. And yeah, so those gold little paper clips, which I never use clips on my layouts, just never sure how to use them. This sits really well to bring in that second element at the top of the sketch, which is actually, I think, a star, but I decided to swap it out for this. Those are also Heidi Swap, and they're part of that Magnolia Jane collection. For some reason, wasn't really happy with the colour of that, like just leaving it that wood veneer. I just don't think it sort of popped up as much as I would have liked it to. And being that, yeah, I don't know, I just, yeah. So I went for a vibrant sort of pink and sprayed it with some Heidi Swap Colour Shine, in that pinky colour. Off the top of my head, the exact colour name, I'm not sure. And then I just splatter it with some gold Colour Shine, just to add some more sparkle to it. This video actually took me a couple of goes to. I couldn't sit it down in one sitting. It ended up being quite a long video, but yeah, I had to keep getting up and stopping and going and doing something else and then coming back but I got it done. And this time I decided, this is where you'll see, look, I had the 2 photos set, and I thought if I cut that piece down as much as I could at the top, the photo at the top, it would go better, but it wasn't working. It was annoying me more than anything else. Whilst the sketch only has 1 photo, I thought, that's not a problem, I can sort of layer it over. It just didn't work. So I end up ditching this second photo, which you'll see shortly. Now I have that other photo here, you'll see there, that big large tag, again is Heidi Swap, Magnolia Jane as well. It's quite a large tag, and I wasn't originally going to use it, but I obviously changed my mind, and I do use it to journal on. Oh, sorry, I keep yawning. Alright. So, I do fuss about a bit, and I did take some of that out so you didn't have to see that painstakingly long process of me trying to make a decision on where everything goes. So, now I decided I was committing to everything, and here we go. So, I start by using some wet glue to stick this down because the background is got that mixed media, it's got the acrylic paint, it's got the colour paste, so I wanted to make sure that it stuck well, and it does. And then I'm just using that yellow there that you can see is some foam. I'm just popping my photo up on that, sorry. So, yep. And again, I use wet glue on this just because part of the photo will be mounted onto, again, that mixed media background. Just adheres better. Squishing it down, making sure it stays stuck. And in that Magnolia Jane tag pack actually, it comes with those little circle, like, what do they call them, like the hole that the reinforces, as well as the twine to go in the end. Now I've cut the twine down, it was actually quite long. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool actually, that it was all in there. You didn't have to worry about it. So from the sketch there's a large star element in the top corner here, and that's why I went for this wood veneer. Alright, just working on my title, which these are just some gold thickers. Alright, and I decided to pull in here this washi tape. Is also from that Magnolia Jane collection, and I just thought it would help the gold thickers pop up, be a bit more noticeable on the background, just because there is that gold colour and the pinks and things like that. Oh, sorry, I couldn't see what that was. But the title is Room Love, because once we redid her room, she loved it. Now these glitter stars are just from Freckled Fawn. I just put one down the bottom. I can't remember if on the sketch there was a star on the bottom, but anyway, I add it. And that's a good thing from the sketches, I guess, is you can take your, you know, as long as you're using the guts of it, that's the main part of doing, I think, a sketch challenge, from what I've learned. You know, if you choose to add a little bits and pieces. I mean, some sites have their own rules in that you're not allowed to use, you know, your own thing, sort of, as such. Like, you know, with mood boards, you can only use the colours set in the mood or the colour board and all the rest of it. So, yeah, this didn't have that sort of ruling. I was looking on those little stickers there. You saw those black stickers was numbers, but that didn't have any numbers. It was just all letters. So I was going to look to put the date that way. Instead, I use another piece of pattern paper from that 12x12 Magnolia Jane pad and cut a little piece off and then cut it even smaller and smaller. I was trying to make like one of those little, what do you call them, the little flag things. Yeah, but I just cannot freehand cut something like that. So yeah, I end up trying, and then I end up trimming the bits off because they're uneven, and then I end up making it really, really small. So again, I save you the pain of watching me cut it down bit by bit by bit by bit. Okay, so yeah, just having a bit of a fuss around. Now I didn't adhere that washi tape with anything extra, and it's sitting right over the top of the colour paste, and so far so good. It hasn't come up. Like, I've got the layout here next to me as I've done it. It's been a few days since I did this layout, and it seems to be okay. So, like, as in it's not coming off or anything like that. So yeah, sticks well. Now I think I do add another star on this. I think a silvery star. Sort of I tried to do a little bit on the diagonal of the blue star down that bottom right. Again, this gold washi is part of a washi tape pack. That's that Heidi Swap Magnolia Jane. You can buy them in a pack, and it's got, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8 little rolls in it. Alright, so I think my layout is pretty much done. Yes, it is done. So here you go. Again, pop over to the Scrapping Clearly blog and check it out, or the Facebook page, and get involved with the challenge for this month. There's a sketch and a mood board colour, whatever one. But yeah, I hope you like this layout, and give me a thumbs up. See you later, guys. Thanks.